hole yawns back at you, impossibly wide. A single tentacle burrowed through stone.
This is an Illithid colony. This must be where they harvest the tadpoles. We're close to the source of the infections.
All of this sitting beneath Moonrise. For how long? And how deep does it go?
Tread carefully. We are very close to the source of the Absolute now. That telepathic storm has become a tempest.
Another step forward. Let's see.
Descend! Prepare, oh... Mind flayers and civilians, side by side. This must be where they infect and transform those they kidnap.
Your tadpole forms a telepathic connection with the device, and a chorus of static energy fills your mind. Every mind flayer in the room calls out hungrily from its pod, seeking release and sustenance. But there are others in the pods, those not yet infected, not yet illithid, terrified, desperate to escape. The device is open to your tadpole's command, to your authority.
Say bye-bye. I've got it.
To concentrate.
What fools these mortals be. I didn't think I was going to make it. Thank you. I owe you an explanation. Much more than that. But first, please, the others, the ambush. Tell me they survived. You've heard some of it, I'm sure. That I froze, or broke, or some other lie that is kinder than the truth. We were ambushed by cultists, yes. And then I heard her, their false god, whispering promises in my mind. I would be a paladin again, with a god's purpose, a god's power. Everything I needed to protect my people. And all the while, the cult tortured them. They fought and ran and died around me, while I imagined myself their savior. By the time I regained my senses, it was too late. I did not just surrender to the Absolute. For a moment, I welcomed it. They did? Oh, sweet gods. I have no right to feel it, but I am proud of them. I won't make excuses. I can't make amends. But I know something of what you came to do. I want to help, if you'll let me. Ketheric is below. He thinks you're no longer a menace. Descend and show him how wrong he is. If there are any more survivors to be found, I'll find them and lead them out of this place. They have you. Go, my friend. Please, let me do this much.
Brine pools, but empty of tadpoles. Unusual. Harvesting all the larvae indicates they are getting ready for something big.
That pop.
By Grazit's cock, it's about time you came! Why, perish the thought. Every word was nothing less than true. Now, enough sniffing around and get me out of this thing.
Do it, and I'll let Will off his leash. A devil always keeps her promises.
Your eyes turn to the control panel next to the pod. It has 2 devices marked with elithid symbols. The controls are open to your tadpole's command, to your authority. You can make no sense of the symbol. The button symbol means nothing to you.
Good work. I'd give you a gold star, but I'm fresh out. As for the pact... Clause Z, Section 13. If the Soulbinder consents to separation, she will release the Soul Bearer from all obligation within 6 months.
You're a disgusting little shit. You know that, Mizora.
Ignorant thing. It's always the terms and conditions that get you. Right. I'm out of here. I need a long bath. I'll leave you to your very serious business. But don't you fret. If you survive this place, I'll find you. The pup will be needing me. Count on it. Oh, and ask Will how we met. I've loosened his tongue.
It's real cracker of a tale. Ta-ta.
It strikes me that for a Mind Flayer colony, there are remarkably few Mind Flayers about the place.
Squiddies have gone to war, is my guess.
Embrace
On the absolute behalf, there's an
Become
alliance I'd
death.
be quite happy without.
You... General Thorm was attacked. The order to evacuate given. You should not be here. I conclude you are one of the attackers. I have no need for a throne. You could merely get in the way. Go on, make yourself useful somewhere. If you cannot manage that, just stay out of the way. Gather yourselves. Soon we march to victory.
Your violence hasn't gone unnoticed. It's about to be returned in kind.
Heading out.
Still on my feet. Not even the worms will want your carcass once I'm done with you.
Swords meet sorcery.
Ready for this?
Nothing will stand in my way.
Wanna dance? Hey!
Not design.
Baldur's Gate will know my design. Our design.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times. If not over, then through.
Descend, assemble. Liberate, evacuate.
My little trick.
Striking distance.
One day, I'll catch a break. Again. For peace.
Their chances.
Sometimes the only way out is through. What should I do? Survival is all that matters.
What's the story? And?
beauty. Every
Still breathing, despite everything.
That put the wind back in my sails.
One day, I'll catch a break.
The moment comes. The absolute.
I feel glorious. These things are nonsense to me. So why can I read them?
Pardon? Wouldn't do to phlegm all over Lord Gortas during my first performance, would it? He heard me singing in Beggar's Rest. Said he needed someone to give voice to lost knowledge. A little over my head, being honest, but the Lord has gold. I trust he knows his business. Now, I'd best warm up. Truly? And my ma said the singing would come to naught. Oh, thank you, thank you!
day he comes. Every day for 3 days to ask me how I feel. I want to tell, but I am confused. Which day is it? The first, yes. 5 days since he put that thing in my eye, but the first day he came to visit. He says I am the last, that the other subjects have all changed. Eye hurts, head hurts, but he says I am past the worst of it, that I won't change like the others. He's given me a place of honor, so he can repeat his miracle and a name. True soul. She whispers in my mind. She sings, praise the Absolute. Separate cells. I never saw them, but when they changed...
My head! I can feel them in my head!
We are his pets. His plan, Lord Gortash.
They're in my head. They're in my head! They're in yours too. It won't be long now until we're changed. Am I dead? I don't want to die, but I don't want to live. Not like this.
Feelings never last, I suppose.
builds into life, a mind touches your own. Alien and full of desperate need, but fragmented too. It is incomplete. It yearns to connect, but needs you to guide the process, linking each part of your mind to its like.
Welcome back, Master.
That should do it. Time to see what's back there.
Your tadpole echoes, not with presence, but memory, tinged with loss.
The ground's design. Order. Perfection. Unity. Every plane. As one. Every being. In their place.
That loss blooms into a sudden fury, burying claws in your mind.
Taken. Corrupted. Gone.
And just as suddenly, pain and memory are gone, leaving only stone once more.
The grand design. The restoration of the Mind Flayer Empire. The dream of all Illithids.
Did the Illithid Empire fall?
I don't know. I'm just glad it fell.
Moving ahead. Stench. I wonder how many pilgrimages to Moonrise ended down here.
Friend, you found the helm! We remember you well. You saved us once. Perhaps you can do it again? They are not kind to us here. We are different, they say, aberrant. They wish to repurpose us, destroy what they cannot fix. Please, help us escape harm. Oh, thank you. Thank you! You are a good friend. No. More. Rescuer!
I need a quick word.
No will sparks behind his eyes. His mind has been hollowed out to better echo the commands of the collective. You could kill it, end its miserable life of enslavement. Surely that would be the humane thing to do. Or you could take advantage of its vulnerability and plunder what's left of its hollow mind for anything that could serve you. Your violence hasn't gone unnoticed. It's about to be returned in kind.
Big mate, not for long. Time for jump.
Cry about it.
At last. No more jump. Jump.
The easy path.
Damn, it's good to be alive.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
We are free! Thank you, friend. But perils remain, near and far. Better to stay together. You and us, we will remain with you. Call us, and we will be at your side.
Breathe deep and move.
Let me work my magic.
Can't give up now.
Salutations.
What to do?
Descend, assemble. Evacuate.
Whole fleet of nautiloids. How many true souls have passed through this place? have.
Shh. This place listens. It knows. If we're going to escape, we have to be smart. Right. You get it. I've been watching, learning. This place is alive. A big thinking thing, and it needs our flesh to grow. I've seen them put corpses in the walls, and they just melt away. So we've got to trick it, see? Make it think we're part of it. That's why the door's only open for... Wait. How did you get in here? Away, slave! They might have taken your mind, but they won't have mine!
Things have stayed interesting.
Fine bones, sharp jaw. Some variety of elf. Pretty enough for a flesh prison. If not the noble Githzerai features I was born with.
The monk-like Githzerai, sibling race to the warrior Githyanki. Their contempt for one another is eclipsed only by their shared hatred of the Illithids.
I'd guess you're no willing guest of the Gake either. Perhaps we might aid one another. Warriors of the mind. Oh, there's some physical prowess involved, but the battlefield on which we truly fight the Gake is their own. My order taught a psionic technique much feared by the Gake. They destroyed us for it, and kept me as a trophy. I never broke, but I've spent all these centuries awake, aware. So here is my offer. Use your tadpole, erase me, and I will pass my technique on to you.
You catch the lie. The monk isn't telling everything.
All right, The Gate did not find my monastery. I led them there. They promised me immortality, and they gave it. I have been their rotting trophy for centuries.
As her agitation swells, so does her latent psionic power. To your tadpole, that guilt and terror are almost fragrant. You realize the Illithids locked her away not as a trophy, but as a fine vintage.
Please, touch my mind and purge it. The moment you do, my knowledge will be yours.
The awareness that floods you is nothing like the tadpole. It is tentative and tinged with the loneliness of eons. It fades beneath your touch. But you feel something left behind. A fragment.
It is only knowledge yet, without comprehension. But when you use it, you will see. And I see.
You have my attention.
Looking ahead.
My head hurts. Can I go back to bed, Mummy? I don't know what that means. I had to dream again. The big spiky snail that came from the sky. I'm sleepy, Mummy. You must stop waking me up. Night, night, Mummy. Love you.
Longer a background murmur. The presence in your mind builds to a roar.
We've found it. The Absolute is behind this door.
You said it was under control.
It isn't you I answer to, Gortash.
Motherfucker! Gortash!
Oh, the general voice. Is this where we salute?
Salute, yes. With cleavers through his blood-starved flesh. How it crawls with failure. Like flies on lick-wet carrion.
You forget yourself, Orin. I have played my part.
You built an army for our masters, true enough. But what of the astral prism? A rogue true soul, flaunting it under your nose all this time. And you ran from her.
Sure that they would follow and deliver it into my hands here. If you would cease these distractions.
The distractions have been yours, Ketherick. Perhaps we never should have dug your daughter up. So you haven't lost your edge. But you're still not as sharp as Orin, I wager. The Slayer against the Undying One. That'd be fun to see.
His crypt breath sings to my sinews. Again, 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 again. But he must lead the murder march to Baldur's grave.
If the weapon is truly in your grasp, Ketherick, might I suggest closing your fist? Orin and I can wait for you no longer. The plan proceeds. We're going to the city, and we expect you to follow. Army and the weapon in tow.
The Edict of Bane!
The Lash of Thor!
testament of Myrkul!
An elder brain. One of the cruelest and most powerful creatures in existence. Enslaved by mere mortals.
Look at that crown. It radiates with power unlike anything I've ever seen. To have it. To hold. Oh, if only I could. But I can't. This is it. I must do as Mystra commands. What choice do I have? More than just a goddess counts of my courage. Whole worlds hang in the balance. I do trust you. More than myself right now. Perhaps even more than Mystra. I have no desire to end your life, you know that. To end it? To struggle on. It is a grave choice you're making for us both. But if it must be so... very well. I'll stand down to stand by you.
There we are. It wouldn't do to fight in front of our guests. Behold, Duke Ravengard, the Absolute.
He'll preserve us.
You wag your word flap in vain, olderling. Once the worm holds the whip, your shredded flesh will serve us.
Now, it's really time we were going. We will empty this place and begin the march. You may catch up with the army once you've retrieved the weapon. And Ketheric, do try not to sulk. You're supposed to be the fearsome general come to conquer the city. And I am the hero who will save it.
It is time, faithful ones. March on Baldur's Gate. We go to prepare the way!
Another step forward.
There you are, as predicted. What is it, I wonder, that draws one toward death like a moth to light? You could have run away, absconded with the prism. The one thing that could prevent me from fulfilling my destiny. But the lure of one's destiny is irresistible, isn't it? Perhaps you hope to learn your place in history before you are erased from it. A bright flash of clarity before the snuffing out. The very fact of your being attests to its power. Despite your infection, you resisted the brain here in the heart of its domain. What good is an army of thralls if they do not obey their master? Let us speak plainly. My Lord Myrkul gave me the one thing I desired, the one thing no other god could grant me. My daughter's life returned. Her heart beating once more. For that, he asked that I serve as his chosen. Join Orin and Gortash to grow the cult of the Absolute, and then take control of it. He's never had a more devoted follower. I have fought great wars before, in the service of other gods and other powers. But for Myrkul, I would condemn all of Faerun to death. You are all that stands between me and my destiny. And you have brought the prism here. I will kill you now. And then I will raise you as my servant. Yes. Join the army of the dead, true soul. Witness Lord Myrkul's glory.
We can't get at him as long as the night song's caged.
What to do?
Nothing will stand in my way.
Give up. Fall, damn you.
Onward.
Have you not learned? I am beyond death, fool!
Come on. Can't stay idle.
Faith will protect me. Heading there.
I speak, they burn.
Can't afford to let up.
Let me recite their demise.
Face me!
Back in your cage!
No surrender.
What now?
Ready. Still on my feet. I need to stay focused.
Tactical.
Well, so much for peace. Can't give up. Not now.
What a fool you are. You cannot kill me. I am eternal. Myrkul, Lord of Bones, I am here. I am ready. I am yours! You dare end one who belongs to me. I am the smile of the world-cleansed skull. I am the regrets of those who remain, and the restlessness of those who are gone. I am the haunt of wars and ends, the god of graves and age, of dust and dust. I am Myrkul, Lord of Bones, and you have slain my chosen. But it is no matter, for I am dead, and I am not the end. I am the beginning.
By Mistress Silken Tresses.
Time to push my luck again.
Now you wear a face to match your soul, Oathbreaker.
Aye, aye.
I'm ready.
to move.
Take you.
Got this. Still breathing, despite everything.
One life to my life. Sustain me, Flayer.
Close ranks. I won't give in.
What should I do? Take you.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
What's the plan? On my way.
May the dice roll in my favor.
is gonna...
Never a dull moment.
Impossible. Death cannot take me. I am its master. My lord, hear me. Nothing. I am forsaken. You have no idea what you've done. Isabel.
Pick our way toward our fates. Unleashed!
You have my sword. My fealty. Do what you must. Then we fly this foul place.
The Chosen of Myrkul is dead. Permanently, this time.
Ketheric's netherstone. It's in his armor. Take it.
In death, the body is cooling, but energy radiates from the stone.
Remarkable. Truly. And now the picture comes together. The Absolute is neither god nor man. It is the Elder Brain you saw, held here by those three against its will. The crown it wears controls it, and these stones control the crown. It has been dominated. To master an Elder Brain, to subdue it. Our enemies are formidable. A temporary reprieve, but a welcome one. With a brain on its way to the city, its influence here is weakened. The crown's markings suggest it was forged in Netheril, an ancient empire whose mastery over magic rivaled that of the gods. It is a crown of domination. The stones were taken from its crest. They are nether stones, imbued with the ability to control the wearer of the crown. The crown's Netherese magic must be the true source of the parasite's abilities. This must be what elevates their potential. And it must be the reason nobody could heal you. If the crown can do this to the parasite, I dare not imagine what it is doing to the brain. I believe you fought and defeated an avatar of Myrkul, the god of necromancy. A remarkable feat. Ketheric was Myrkul's chosen. I know Lord Enver Gortash, an arms dealer and a slaver. He is a worshipper of Bane, the god of tyranny. The other is a mystery to me, but the way she spoke, it is most likely she follows Baal, god of murder. Which means The Absolute is a front for the gods of death, and our enemies are chosen of the dead three. Bane, Baal, and Myrkul. The Tyrant, the Assassin, and the Necromancer. They are known to pick from their most devout followers a chosen, granting them incredible powers. Each one alone would be a formidable enemy. But working together and controlling an Elder Brain, I dare not imagine what they might achieve. We prepare for the fight of our lives, and the lives of everyone in Faerun. The army of the Absolute is marching on Baldur's Gate. Within the city, an Elder Brain, brimming with power, ready to turn everyone within its reach into mind flayers. All it needs is an order. An order the Death Gods chosen are on the cusp of giving. We must wrest control of the brain from the Chosen before that happens. We must take their stones. Our chances of success are slim, but we must not fail. If we fail, everything ends. I will be your shield, but you must be the sword. And when the chance comes to strike, you must take it, for there may only be one chance.
Let's get going. Breathe deep and move.
I've been thinking on all that you're on. You saw Gortash, didn't you? What the fuck was he doing down there? Is all of this because of him? The tadpole, the Absolute. How? I was his bodyguard. I looked after him with my life. I trusted him more than anything. He gave me away to Zariel just for kicks. He ruined my life just when it was starting. And now he'll use up the entire Sword Coast. He has to die. And I'm gonna be the one who kills him! He can't get away with what he's done. To me. To us. He won't get away with it.
I can't help but feel like I've been fumbling in the dark for too long. And I've just had a lit torch thrust into my hands. Indeed. Under other circumstances, I might have been subdued or ashamed. But after what we saw, I must admit, I'm excited. The crown! The one the Elder Brain was wearing. Netherese magic. So pure, so complete, I didn't even recognize it at first. Most Netherese artifacts contain only the faintest amount of their former power. The ghost of an echo of a memory. That crown was different. I can't fathom how such a wonder survived. Surely everything of its ilk was destroyed along with Netheril itself, but no matter. It exists. I must learn more of it. crown sits on a gargantuan elder brain bent on destroying us and everything we hold dear. Understanding its true nature might unlock the means of our victory. We need to learn more about what we saw. An artifact as powerful as that crown must have been documented somewhere. As luck would have it, we'll soon find ourselves near one of the finest book collections this side of Candlekeep. Sorcerer's Sundries. I need to go there and learn all I can. Indeed. The journey awaits. One foot in front of the other is tried and true, I find. Their collection of rare tomes is unparalleled. Nethery sects are hardly commonplace, but I'm certain they'll have one or two stashed away. You'll have to forgive my eagerness, but if my suspicions prove to hold water, this could be the answer to all our problems.
Our enemies spread like rub rot. Treat one patch, and two more bloom in its place. An elder brain, bound by lost Nethery's magic, with servants of the dead three holding the chain. Reminds me of old times. Aren't you? When we met, I was licking my wounds. An old bear with her leg caught in the hunter's snare. Now I've slipped free of the trap and rediscovered my claws. It's time for me to hunt my prey. You have a nether stone, and you're on the scent of two more. These chosen have reason to fear you, and I would like to be at your side when you confront them. Glad to be there. Falling foul of Ketheric convinced me that my grand adventures were behind me. That even if I survived, I should hang up my blades. But you convinced me otherwise. We ventured into darkness together. Now we've come out the other side. I'd say I'm feeling a little refreshed. When we reach Baldur's Gate, there will be even darker paths to tread. I will follow you wherever they lead. How does it compare to a shadow-cursed inn? With the Absolute's army gone, the Risen Road should be clear. We can follow it all the way to Baldur's Gate. There's a Harper's safe house in Worm's Crossing. Denthalen's Dancing Axe. We do well to check in with them before entering the city proper. Beyond that, our course is yours to set. I can recall how to take orders, as well as give them.
I'm ready to rest my wings.
The shadows yet fester. The dead three united under cover of darkness. The balance shifts. There are depths to this alliance yet unplumbed. Consider, mortal. Do Illithids possess souls? Correct. Yet, the three amass an Illithid army void of apostolic souls that could imbue them with power. A flock without souls, yet to what end, mortal? This is the question thou must come to answer. Until such time, be availed of my services. No. Yes, Bane, Lord of Darkness, Baal, Lord of Murder, Myrkul, Lord of Bones. Once judged, ascended, then vanquished, as one, and as three. The alliance is reforged, mortal. The plains thus quake, and the gods shudder. Where matters of balance are concerned, I am eternally cold.
These boots have seen everything.
I had to look after them. Without him, it wouldn't have lasted long.
I have something to ask.
You're here. Good. That's good. Sorry, I'm just worried about the kids. Maul is still missing, and they haven't taken it too well. I've been trying to cheer them up. We're writing a song together. But I think they're just humoring me. Oh, I have an idea. Why don't we play together? Yes! I've missed this. If you can't keep up, don't take it to heart.
So long.
That was a blast. Thank you. I hope we get to play again sometime soon.
I miss Mom.
When Duke Elton formed the Flaming Fist, he sought out people of courage and honor to fill its ranks. You saved Daniel, lifted the curse, and killed an immortal. It's safe to say you'd have been recruited in an instant. Gruff and intimidating, but he had the courage of 10 men, and a love for Baldur's Gate few could match. I don't know if this Duke Ravengard is the same, but I will say this. The Flaming Fist are the cornerstone of the city, and the Dukes are its foundation. I hope you can save him, for the good of Baldur's Gate. Thank you, but look at me. I am a relic, a glimpse of history barely strong enough to stand on his own 2 feet. Besides, Nathaniel should have someone here when he wakes up. It's the least I can do. You too, my friend. Thank you. From Nathaniel and I.
What was it like in there?
In the curse.
You did it. Ketheric Thorm is no more. The Shadow's grip is broken. Soon, the land shall heal. Not as glad as I am. Nature moves at its own pace, and bestows its bounty when it sees fit. Give it time. A reward shall come to you when you need it most.
What could have tossed me back in the shadows?
I swear, I can already feel a change in the air. Like the curse itself knows its time is short. I can't say for certain, but we'll see it come to pass long before this place recedes behind us. Don't worry. All is at hand. We can depart whenever you're ready.
Aelin!
Isabel! My love. You were dead. I saw your body.
I'm here. And so are you. And my father, he can't hurt us any longer.
I dreamt every night that you'd come back to me. That somehow it was all a nightmare Dawn would undo.
I had no dreams at all. Nothing but darkness. And when I woke, my father said you were dead.
His soul was poisoned by the god of death. His sick devotion ruined him. But for all his sins, he brought you back to me. Are you all right?
I will be. And you?
In this moment, I want for nothing.
Ah, there you are. This is Aelin. Aelin, this is...
Oh, but we have met. This is the soldier that freed me most valiantly from the Shadowfell. They watched my boot crush the very brain of villainy, and fought well against your changed father.
May he rest in peace at last, now that he's dead. I have more to thank you for than I knew. And we have much to discuss. Perhaps we could join you in your camp later? We look forward to it.
You there, Sharon. By the fires of your camp's hearth, we will discuss all we must.
I'll be ready. Whatever you have to say had better be worth your life.
Now, you will leave us. We must take succor in one another's bodies and words.
Aelin! We'll see you later.
Right away.
I have a lot on my mind. And well, in it.
The way is clear. The light has shown... There you are! I was wondering where the devil you'd been. That sounds... slimy. Never mind your distasteful predilections. We need to talk about Wulbren. Wulbrin and the Iron Hand gnomes are planning something dreadful in the city. They have rune powder, they have motive. We have to stop them. With the sword of justice in one hand and the shield of self-righteousness in the other, we most certainly will. To saving the city, and my fool of a friend.
I want to have a word.
I owe you an apology. I saw you as a means to escape, nothing more. But when the sky lit up, when I followed it here, I knew you were behind it. I apologize for not seeing your true worth, and for being, quite frankly, rude in Last Light. Tough, but fair. And that's precisely why I want you by my side in Baldur's Gate. The Iron Hand gnomes are going to save the city, and you can be part of it. The plan is what it's always been. To bring the work and innovations of the Iron Hand gnomes to every corner of the realm. Problem is, Baldur's Gate is sick. Once the pinnacle of greatness, it's eating itself alive to save itself from starving. Find me in the city. And once you see what it's become, you'll know that I, and I alone, can stop it.
Stone says it is one floor down to the left.
Thanks, Nichols. And the stone.
You are welcome.
At the ready.
We will save Baldur's Gate.
Thou hast now a bosom companion. Take care that thou art not distracted on thy quest, seeking the comforts of the flesh. Recall that in time, all becomes dust and bone. Fate spins along as it should. Dost thou require a new ally? Or as thou did...
Looking ahead. Maybe it'll bring us closer.
I think we've done rather a good thing here. A welcome change to gift this land a sliver of hope amongst so much despair.
Way.
What's on your mind? The instructions were easy. Like, if nothing else, I'm sure I piqued your curiosity. She expects those who seek to use the weave to do so honestly, and with respect for its potential to destroy, as well as its potential to save. I doubt she's asked many of her followers to blow themselves up. That's a fate she's bequeathed exclusively to me. She wouldn't ask such a thing if it weren't our only means of survival. However much she's annoyed at me. Oh, you know me, ever the optimist. I'm trying to focus on the positives. Truth is, I was living on borrowed time already. Consuming those items would only have kept the orb sated for so long. If anything, I feel more at peace than I have in months. At least now I know my death will have purpose. It won't be a distant bang in the footnotes of history. I've no doubt she has the power to do so, but as for the permission, Ao would not look kindly on her meddling in mortal affairs. Divine intervention has a tendency to make things worse, not better. As for Elminster, he saved the realms more times than legend can recount. But to take on a god is no easy feat, even for him. My orb is the best chance we have. And only I can wield it. Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistral, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like. To be a god. To know yourself, to be untouchable. To be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel, and with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistral sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistral, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more. An event that came to be known as Karsus's folly. Loving them has its side effects as well. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mystra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go. I know what it is to hunger. And I know what it takes to keep that hunger under control. He's done that so far, despite his condition. So long as he sates his appetite elsewhere, I'm happy to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I would not linger in this land over long, but whatever your business, I will aid you if I can.
Wish we could stay and see what this place will be like without the shadows. I bet it's beautiful. No rest for the wicked, huh? You saw the extent of Flo's friendship. She'll lend you a hand, long as she can crush your spirit while she's at it. I knew never to let my guard down around her. She always made me laugh, even when I least wanted to. If she'd been completely different from who she was, we might have been real friends. Nothing worth reading. Cambion manipulation at its most obvious. Thank the gods. And I do, every day. Soldier. He got his claws into me early. I was a wild kid, brawling my way through the city. One of my mates got wind of a bit of work, guarding some indoorsy type with lots of enemies. Seemed like easy money, so I went in for it. He took one look at me and said I was perfect. I liked that. Not like that, you know. Just... it felt like a good fit. I kept him safe, and he paid me well. Well enough to move my folks into a better neighborhood and put something away for the future. My future. I respected him, trusted him. And he returned that trust, that respect. His life was in my hands, and I took that seriously. The whole thing with Zariel happened so fast. I had no idea what had gone down until it was over. One minute I was in Baldur's Gate, a happy, healthy, not quite kid. The next, I was burning up in Avernus with an engine for a heart. Zariel laughed. Said she paid him well for my services. She'd wanted to test her new machine, and he said I'd be able to handle it. He was right. Sometimes I wish he weren't. Evil, evil bastard. What's on your mind? Go on. If you're happy, I'm happy. Are you happy? Couldn't have said it better myself. I was hoping you'd say that. It's a good old life, isn't it?
Gods be damned. With that parasite in his brain, Father could wreak untold havoc in the Absolute's name. Should Baldur's Gate fall to the Absolute, every one of the coast cities will be ripe for the plucking. We're not just fighting for our cure. We're fighting for my father. We're fighting for the Gate. We're fighting for all of Faerun. Worm's Rock Fortress. All travelers to Baldur's Gate flow through it. It serves as headquarters for the Flaming Fist, and their commander, my father. The Absolute's army's on the march. Gods forbid a tadpole Grand Duke throw open the gates for them. Orin, I'd never heard tell of, but Gortash I know. Or know of, more precisely. A self-styled strategic advisor to Baldur's Gate's peers. A bit player with dreams of a leading role, the way Father told it. He had no use for Gortash, and even less for his advice. I don't remember much beyond that. But where these Chosen are concerned, I have a suspicion we're about to know more than we'd like. It's said that anyone who bathes in the River of Blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck, not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see? It's because you know the heart lurking under the horns. The people will see a curiosity, maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters, keep them safe, and one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again. Yes, but first, a question. If your home were under siege, what would you sacrifice to save it? It is. And I did. I was 17. Father, older Ravengard, had just been named a Grand Duke and was called away to Elturel to help settle a dispute. That's when the Cult of the Dragon made its move.
The Cult of the Dragon, a fractured religion. Some believers hold that undead dragons will inherit the world. Others worship the dragon goddess Tiamat and intend to summon her to Faerun.
A 10-day after Father left, I heard a whisper as I slept. Duskhawk Hill. The Queen of Chaos awakens. Go alone. I grabbed a rapier and set out. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, yet not a single star was shining. There they were, gathered at the foot of the hill.
Your head tingles. Will wants to show you what happened. In the looming shadow of the mount, 5 groups of 5 figures each encircle a lofty totem. Atop each totem, a dragon's head is carved, and a massive orb held in its mouth. The cultists chant, first softly, then crying to the starless sky. There is a crack of thunder, a gust of wind, and a dragon's white head appears in the storm. As the maelstrom howls, Mizura's lips press to your ear. She will destroy Baldur's Gate. Grant me your soul, and I will give you the power to save it, she whispers.
She read the terms while 2 devils stood witness. And I said yes. 1 soul for 1 city. I had Mizura at my side, and the archdevil Zariel guided our hands that day. I burned with the fires of Avernus and oozed the rot of Dis. The cultists choked on our poisons and burned from our flames. And when we were done, all that remained were 5 greyed orbs atop a pile of ash. My soul was bound, and my lips were sealed. She didn't. She came on order of her mistress, Zariel. Tiamat made a play for power. Zariel had other plans. That was the most Mazora's ever said. All that mattered was that she got her prize. Another pet added to her warlock menagerie. It is the one scar I ever bore of it. Mizora replaced it with a sending stone. She uses it to track my location and speak from a distance. I could flee to the spine of the world, or the depths of the lower dark, and still never shake her. He returned to an unsuspecting city and a wayward son with a smirking devil at his side. I tried to tell him the truth, but my mouth couldn't form the words. I'd led him to the battlefield, but Mizora had swept it clean. I showed him my stone eye, but he only turned away. After, he said only one word: go. So I did. I don't know that it was brave. I just know that it was right. I understand. No, never. He did the only thing he could. In his eyes, I invited a devil into our midst. I was a fool at best, a traitor at worst, and Grand Duke Ravengard suffers neither. And I went and proved him right. A Grand Duke's duty is to his city, first and foremost. There would only ever be one outcome.
The curse is broken and the shadows are lifting. In time, these lands will heal. Ascension is a young Githyanki's greatest honor. Long ago, the Geich enslaved my people. They dominated our minds and bred us for war, until Great Mother Gith took a hammer to our bonds. From the day of our hatching, young Gith have one purpose: to train hard enough to slay a Geich and take its head. Then, we speak the rite of Ascension, and a red dragon comes to fly us to Vlaakith, in Tunarath, City of Death. We are honored with an eternal home in the Astral, celebrated for our victory. We are ascended. Or so I believed. My own Savage would never have threatened a youngling. A waste of time and energy. The pupils themselves culled the weak from their ranks. I myself felled 4 of my own classmates once Kalir had 100 times circled Tyrell. Survival. My people have no use for cowards. Every trainee that I slayed was either too weak to withstand the lessons, or was cocky enough to pick a fight they could never win. They underestimated me, so they paid the price. The Githyanki are only as powerful as their weakest warrior. Jaquith de Venzir, the termination of the frail, strengthens us. It is over where I am concerned.
It is through conflict that we strengthen our bonds. Yet I do not recommend Shadowheart seek it again. The next resolution may not end in her favor.
I never saw myself as a banisher of shadows before. I was always more of a lurker-in, historically. Before anything else, I need to know where it's happening. To the public, Cazador is an ordinary noble. A little reclusive, perhaps, but just another of the great and the good of Baldur's Gate. He has a grand palace on the hills of the gate, where he hosts the city's high society. I don't know if he performed the ritual there. It feels too public. He'd risk exposure. I know. Subtle, isn't it? Mephistopheles is one of the Lords of the Nine Hells. Raphael is not going to let any ire be tracked back to him. Perhaps Raphael even will gain from setting us on this course, who can say? All I know is I need to unravel the secrets around Cazador's ritual. And I can only do that in Baldur's Gate. Yes? The thing that will decide my fate forevermore. Yes, it's been on my mind. Why? Well, of course I've thought about it. If I completed the ritual instead of Cazador, I'd get all that power. And I could walk in the sun without fear I'd turn into a mind flayer. Of course, I don't even know if I could complete the ritual. It may be impossible, but it certainly is tempting. Cazador sired 7 spawn, me and my 6 brothers and sisters. He always insisted we were a family, even when he was carving scars into our flesh. I was one of his first. Some of the others came years later. He was a monster to us all, but did take special pleasure in my pain. He said, my screams sounded sweetest. And now that I'm gone, I don't know. I pity the other 6.
I can't believe it. I can't believe Aelin is here. And my father. I heard what happened. What he'd become. By killing him. You set him free. You set Aelin free. And me. A great deal. But still, some of the details elude me. Ketheric Thorm was my father. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me, all my life. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Dame Aelin, daughter of the Moon Maiden herself. Tell me, do you believe in love at first sight? This was different. It was like I could see my fate in her eyes. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aelin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. there's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural. Then... And this is where I still need answers. I died. I'm not sure how, why, but all was black. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. So hideously warped. You jest. Yet, he did seem a ghost to me. A shadow of the father I loved. He resurrected me with magic so foul, I nearly retch just thinking of it. I didn't know that then, but I could see the change in him. He told me we'd be together now. Said that Aelin was dead. I couldn't speak, could only run. I found last light within the shadows, made a shelter there, prayed my father wouldn't find me. By the time Jaheira came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100 years. That my father was the source of the horrors plaguing this land, my home. I couldn't tell her who I was. I had to protect them, and myself, no matter what. It's all out in the open now, and with my father dead, I have nothing to fear. Except for Aelin. She needs healing, rest. I'm grateful for your help, your friendship. I hope we won't intrude on your hospitality too long, but I'm grateful for a safe place to, well, just to be.
What do you know about me? You spoke of my past, being chased by wolves. I told no one about that. Almost no one. But I certainly didn't share that with you.
There is nothing I can tell you that you do not already know yourself. They trained you well, trained you hard. Chiseled away any part of you that did not fit their plan. They made you forget.
I chose to do that. For the mission to protect Shaz...
Secrets. Yes, yes, that is an old song, girl. Your goddess cares more for her precious secrets than she does her devotees.
Get to the point.
When you freed me, you severed a bond between me and that dog, Thorm. A bond of pain. His, inflicted on me. When I laid eyes on you, I sensed a similar bond. You, tethered to two others. Someplace distant. Let me help you remember.
You feel Shadowheart's mind tug at the edges of your own. You know this sensation. She wants you to see whatever is about to be revealed. Your mind joins with Shadowheart's. Something pulls at you both, bringing you elsewhere. That it is a common rite among Seluna's followers to send their children off into the woods to find their way home. Perhaps this time it had gone awry. It seems that one child never came back. She was taken.
What? Who was that man?
You already know. Did you not see yourself in him?
Do you not recognize your own blood?
My father. That was him.
That is him. He lives still. And your mother, too.
No. It can't be. I'm an orphan.
And who told you that? Your adoptive family? You are not to blame. You were young, impressionable. They took you because they wanted to break and remake you. But you are a child no longer. You are a woman. One who knows what must be done.
My parents. I need to save them.
Your parents are with your abductors. You will need to return to their lair. But be warned. You may have once thought of them as comrades, mentors, friends, even lovers. They will all be enemies now. You have been forewarned for what is to come, but not yet forearmed.
The spear. How do you have it? I threw it into the Shadowfell.
Shar is quick to discard whatever she has no use for. I think you know that well enough. But I felt it call to me as I took flight. Whatever Shar calls her own, Selûne has equal claim to. They are one and the same. Their power is matched and mirrored. Take it. You will find it useful. What you do with it, that will be up to you. Same as before.
I'll need every advantage, it seems. Thank you.
A debt repaid. You returned my life unto me. Now go and claim your own.
It hurts.
Shar torments you still. What a spiteful creature she is. This will not stop until you take action. See that your parents' sacrifices are not in vain. Allow the Moon Maiden to guide you at last. There you are. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. Come closer. Feel my voice rattle your bones as I proclaim our victory. Moon Maiden Selûne, hear me. Ketheric Thorm, traitor, apostle of Myrkul, is dead at last. My mate, most high. Darling Isabel is safe and well. Safe and well, and returned to my embrace. Blessings upon the slayer of the Wicked One. We are a powerful party indeed. Faerun itself trembles at our touch. My darling Isabel says we will stay allied at your side. I am pleased to hear it. Pray, ask, and I will tell. Do I not radiate with my mother's brightness, her glory? There can be no doubt. I am of her silvered flesh, her celestial womb. Ketheric Thorm, father of my one and only love, enslaver of Dame Aelin. Ketheric Thorm never did trust me, even when he worshipped the Moon Maiden. He was threatened by my love for Isabel, by her love for me. When she died, curse the day, The hour. We each of us mourned bitterly. But Ketheric's pain could be touched by no aid, no boundary. He turned to wretched Shah, the Lady of Loss, for relief. And she whispered into his ear, poisoning his mind. He and his loathsome advisor, Balthazar, lured me into the Shadowfell, claimed they'd found someone in need of my aid. There, they trapped me in their infernal cage. I was killed, murdered, made dead over and over and over by justiciars of every make and kind. I was reborn, for it is my nature. And Ketheric fed upon my immortality all the while. But lo, the brute is dead, and we live! Why, she already has. She has brought her sword to your side, Dame Aelin. So mighty are her wonders, her great wisdom. Together, we will set this fair land free of tyranny and murder.
These lands will soon be free of Shah's grasp. You can almost sense it. If I was a bard, I might be tempted to draw comparisons between nature and myself both shaking off Shah. But luckily for you, I'm no bard.
We aren't dear friends now, if that's what you're asking. But I trust we can all sleep a little more soundly in camp now. Well, apart from you, of course. Relax. We'll kiss and make up on our own time. Someone prodding at a newly opened wound doesn't help matters.
Honestly, I'm still surprised that we actually managed to defeat Ketheric Thorm. Perhaps a final victory isn't such a wild dream after all. How are you holding up? Don't be so modest. I can't remember the last time I met someone like you. Perhaps I never did. And never will again. I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course. Perhaps. Perhaps not. If we do survive, we'll have separate lives to return to. I need to get to Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. Thank you. And you're right.
Must I?
Find a way. We could speak to Ethel, though I'm not keen to trust her.
Seems simple enough.
You'll have to look elsewhere for company. I already have an arrangement. There's nothing for you and I to discuss.
Begone, friend. I have a darling to adore. Our thoughts are as one, my friend. You must face the Chosen of Bane and Baal. I will do my part to see them laid low. I am free from my bonds, but not my duty. The dead 3 are risen. The dead 2 remain. You must face them. I will help.
There's little I can say to you, I'm afraid.
Looking forward to a bit of rest, if I'm honest. It's been a long century.
Dragging him into this.
Fate, dost thou require a new... As the...
Thanks for watching out for me. You lot could have tossed me back in the shadows.
Do you have anything to eat?
It's all coming together.
The air is ripe with magic.
Magde